Hello. I've noticed some weird things being said on YouTube about investing, and I wanted to go over something that feel that you should be doing. Now, there is three elements to a very good wealth building exercise. Now, this wealth building is is stuff that actually works, uh, but it will not be immediate. You will need a 9 to 5 job, as some of the other uh, so-called finance get rich gurus will deceive you for about. You're going to have to have that job to launch this endeavor, but that from that job that you're going to have, if you get one and it's full time, you get 401k. What I'm going to recommend you do, this is part of the wealth building, is you also go and you start a Roth IRA, and you continually have those two things building for years. Another element to building wealth is through different, potentially different um, uh, investing apps. One of the most prominent ones I've seen is this app called Robinhood. But I think now even TD Ameritrade has something. But do slow investing outside of those two uh, things, as well as maintaining those. Over time, you will build a net value base that will astonish you. And if you're lucky, like in my case, with my job, I outside of those deductions and so forth, I'm actually valued pretty decently for an entry level position. So don't just ignore old time advice, because usually when it comes to investing, the old time advice is actually the stuff that actually works. The get rich quick stuff is never the answer when stock market investing is in the mix. In fact, it rarely is the case for any kind of investing. It will be investing over time. It will take years, probably even decades, to see the kind of end game that a lot of these so-called uh, financial gurus will want you to think is something that can happen immediately. It just doesn't happen. For example, Bitcoin. Some people got wealthy off of it. Now, a lot of people don't look at it this correctly. They think it was immediate. It was shorter than money, but it gained in steam for 2 to 3 years. So there was also a waiting game with that. You should never expect an immediate return on investment. You should always expect to have to wait for the ROI. That is always going to be the case. The amount of time you wait is one thing, but not being able to wait is a completely different thing. You should always look at the ROI, and that will be determined by how soon you get anything back off of it, and by the amount of the return. It's not always going to be the same with every investment. You're going to have to be careful about that. I have mutual funds, one for the state of California and one for the federal government in my mix for my Roth IRA, along with private investment stuff. So diversification is also going to be a key element to you building wealth. Is yes, you want to diversify, but you also want to be strategic in how you diversify. Actually, if you don't understand what you're looking at, you want to ask somebody who has no financial impact from it, or in the best case scenario, somebody with fiduciary responsibility toward you to help explain you and walk you through what's what with these mutual funds, stocks, and so forth. Because you don't want to invest in something that will lose you money in the long run. You're going to need to be cautious about that. So, essence, here's how you're going to build wealth in any successful way. Have a regular job. 2, don't expect an immediate return on investment. 3, diversify. You want those 3 principles working for you. And those 3 principles are what will solidly gain you wealth over time. This passive income stuff only works if the ROI is legitimately allowing livability, and that rarely is the case. You want diversification, slow build-up, and the multifaceted approach of 401k, IRA, and outside investment. That is how you're going to build your wealth.